Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. And this movie came out in 2014, and it's directed by James Gunn, who directed all three of these movies. And I've seen this movie once before, back when it came out in theaters, hadn't seen it since, and I had a pretty good time. For a movie that's nearly 12 years old, I felt as though it held up pretty well. I like the cast in this movie a lot, and the characters are lots of fun, and I enjoyed their dynamics as well. And the visual effects in this movie looked pretty great for the most part. Sometimes it looks a little not too great in some of the daytime scenes, but overall I felt as though it worked pretty well, especially for the time. I do feel as though I can be a little bit more lenient on that because it was 12 years ago, so I'll give it a bit of a pass. And I did like the tone of this movie. It was a bit more fun, and I do feel as though that complemented the film, and I do think that's something that superhero movies should probably embrace. It's like a fun, goofier tone, and that helps with the whole universe. And obviously, that was brought over to James Gunn's Superman from 2025, and if you ask me, that complemented that movie as well. And obviously, with all that being said, I do want to point out this much. As far as like just knowing where James Gunn goes in the future, I will say that tone that we're familiar with and that style, it's not nearly as present in this movie as his later movies. I just feel as though in movies like The Suicide Squad from 2021 and Superman, I feel as though he has more control and is able to do more of what he wants. Whereas in this movie, he's like kind of adding certain things to it with the tone and things here and there. But overall, it's like a movie from Marvel controlled by Disney, and he has to play around that system and really make it work. And I am aware that there was eventually drama behind the scenes with that, but I do feel as though I got a James Gunn movie out of this movie, and it was fun because of it. And the pacing was pretty quick. I didn't feel the runtime at all, and I like where things go. And I do like how these characters, they're not just like, oh, likable, fun characters kind of down. They're like a kind of criminals that have to do the right thing and come together and just make the most of what they're able to do, and just maybe do something good. And that's kind of funny to me. And I do remember when this movie came out, people were comparing it to Star Wars, this is Marvel's Star Wars. And in a way, yeah, you could classify it as that. You could also say it's Marvel's Space Avengers. That was a fun little gag that was made on Screen Junkies when they made an honest trailer about this movie. And I always found that to be kind of funny. This movie also had some good action scenes that I found to be fun and entertaining, although I will say that sometimes we get to too many cuts, especially in the first half, where the editing is kind of choppy when it comes to the action scenes. But there are still fun moments in this movie to be had. I won't deny the movie that much. And I do like how this movie does try to subvert expectations and kind of avoid cliches. I find that to be kind of fun. And I did also like the character designs. I thought that they were kind of fun to look at. And again, to my criticisms with this movie, like I said, the editing was kind of choppy and that took away from my experience. But also, the villain was didn't really care about the villain. I can remember his name, Ronan the Accuser, and I like his design, but his character just didn't really bring anything to the movie, and he was kind of just, he's there, and I don't really care. And the score for the movie was just forgettable. I don't even remember a single note when it comes to the original score for this movie. I like the licensed music that was brought into this movie, but the actual score, not so much. Couldn't tell you anything about it. Couldn't tell me it's nothing. And this movie also came out at a time where Marvel didn't quite realize, oh, it might be a good idea to add some color here and there. And it kind of does show in certain scenes where, yeah, it could probably benefit if it had a bit more color and wasn't so dry and gray looking. like especially for a movie like this. And I think just in knowing where we go later, that they utilize that more, kind of just that makes me look at this in retrospect like, yeah, this movie probably could have benefited if it was a bit more colorful like later MCU films. And that's about all I have to say about Guardians of the Galaxy. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I think I like it about as much as I did the first time, although I don't really remember too much about my first experience of this movie, other than I just walked away saying, yeah, that was good. I had fun. And that's how I feel about it now. It was good. It was fun, enjoyable. And I do feel as though this is a consistent trilogy overall. And I would have to revisit Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because I know some people don't like that movie, but I'll have to revisit it to really know how I feel about it. Because it's been almost 10 years since I've seen that movie. So do check this movie out whenever you get the chance. It's good, enjoyable, and one of Marvel's better movies. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Guardians of the Galaxy a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts of Guardians of the Galaxy, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Nomadland. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.